It's not always easy to be grateful or to see the light at the end of the tunnel when we're going through stuff, right? Um, Growing up, I grew up like in religious households. I grew up with like my grandmothers, aunts, and everybody had their own religious beliefs, right? But the common theme was always that, Satan, was out to get you, and Satan was always, like a roaring lion, and that Satan was always tempting us to do the wrong thing. Um, and I started to question a lot of teachings and doctrine and beliefs, right? Because they never resonated with me on the inside. It never made sense to me. So I began to research, throughout my life and really dig into these teachings and where they come from, And one of the biggest uh, revelations for me was when I began to study etymology, which is the origin of words. Where did these words come from, and what did they mean in its original text, right? Or its original meaning. So the word Satan, right, is not an entity. It's not a being. In the original language in Hebrew, right, it it means opposer. It means opposition. That's all it means. And it's necessary. Challenges are necessary for us to strengthen and cultivate our gifts, spiritual gifts, to build character, right? So it's all conducive to our growth and development. It has nothing to do with some evil force trying to get us at all. And when you study that and you research it, it just means opposition. So, give you a quick analogy. If a kid is on a basketball court, right, and he's dribbling the ball, and he's running up to the basket and he's shooting a layup, right? If he practices long enough, he'll become good at it, right? And he'll probably make most of the shots, right? But if you put someone in front of him that's gonna defend, right, or oppose him, his opponent, right, then he would have to develop more skills in order to get that layup, right? Because there's someone trying to take the ball, there's someone trying to block him from taking the shot. So you develop skill, right? You cultivate that skill. And it's through opposition, it's through challenges, right? And they don't always feel good, Then, when you work out, and you feel you're doing an extra rep, like that pain, doesn't feel good. When you're jogging, like, you get the drift, right? It's like, opposition is necessary. Challenges are necessary for our spiritual growth, right? Growth, period. So there's a lot of misinformation, man. We've been fed. There's a lot of false beliefs that we hold on to, and we continue to teach our kids. And even if we don't verbally say things, we leave impressions through our actions and our behaviors, right? And the results of our lives are our messages, right? To others, especially to our kids and to the children, because they emulate what we do as opposed to what we say. So I just want to say that because I see a lot of us, blaming blaming a devil or this outside force that's out to get us. And that's all bullshit. It's a fucking lie. It's all a ploy to try to keep us controlled, man. And that's the truth. And guess what? It resonates. When people hear this, their fear of going against what they've been taught is what locks them in to wanting to challenge and debate and disregard what I'm saying. But all I'm saying is do your research. Do your research. Look up words in the etymological dictionary. Just type in a word and then type in etymology. I'm going to spell it right down here so you guys can see it, right? Just look it up, man. It's a Hebrew word that has nothing to do with some outside entity or force, man, at all. The jig is up, guys. Like, the power is within us. When we tap into it within us, things begin to manifest in our lives that's according to universal law, what people call God's will. When we align with that, everything begins to fall into place. There's no struggle, there's no heartache, there's no suffering. Not saying that you won't experience pain at times. You know, there's sadness, people die, so we go through some pain, but the suffering is optional. And when we realize the power that's within us, and we begin to cultivate that power and utilize it and get with people who are on that path, who are living the life that we see ourselves living, right? Then our lives, right, are enhanced and the quality of our lives are raised, right? And we begin to see all these different miracles in abundance happening. They're all around us all the time. And I'm sharing this with you because I go through my ups and downs and my ins and outs, and I need to remind myself. And sometimes I need to hear it from others. So I surround myself with people who remind me that what I'm going through, right, has everything to do with my perception of it. It's how I'm looking at it. So if I'm looking at my situation as a misfortune, oh, woe is me, damn, from a place of fear, then that's what I'm going to create in my life, and I'm going to continue to draw that in. But you know what? When I shift my perception, I'm able to look at things from a more enlightened place, right? I can see the blessings, and I become grateful for the moment and where I'm at today. And I begin to count my blessings. Peace.